Okay, so once you come to the grep configuration file, so what are all the details that you have to see it here? See, the first one you have where's the mouse? Yeah. So default is equal to 0 that you have. So what is the default is equal to 0? See, assume that, so you have the dual boot of the operating system. See, in your system, what you have done now, how you have installed, you have installed the operating system on the Oracle VirtualBox, is it? So if you have the dual boot, which means that you have installed the Windows, parallel you have installed the Linux also. As soon as you on the system, as soon as you boot the system, which operating system that you have to get it, either Windows or Linux. So you have to select it here. So this is what? This is the
kernel version of Linux.
yes, this is the Linux that you have. Assume that this is the Windows. And the last line that which you have, that is the Linux operating system. So if you wanted to boot, if you wanted to boot the system with the Linux operating system or Windows operating system, the one which is there in the top, that is 0. The one which is there under that, it's 1. So which means that if I wanted to boot the system with the Windows, that you have to give it here 0. The same thing, if I wanted to make boot the system for the first login, if I need the Linux, remove the 0 and just give the one that you have to give it. One you have to give it. So in that time, so whenever you on the system, that is going to boot the system with the Linux system. Okay. So the next one, timeout is equal to 5. What is this timeout? Timeout is what? So just sometime back that we have seen that 5, 4, 3 to 1 second at the time of breaking the root password. That is a one of this. That is a one of this. So within 5 seconds that you have to escape it, then only that you will be able to break the root password. Okay. So now here the timeout options which you have, if it is not sufficient for you, you can increase it. You can give 10 or 15 or whatever the number you wanted to, you can give it. But if you don't want, you can make it 0 also. It's your wish. So the next one I have I have generated the grub password is there. So for that, what you have to do, you have to go for PASSWORD password space hyphen MD5 space and paste that. Then you have to paste that. So PASSWORD space hyphen MD5, and then you have to paste that password, whatever that I have generated sometime back. Now I'm just going to save this now. Once I save it, I'm going to reboot my system. So once I reboot, let's see that how it works. I have kept my system with the grep password is it. So for that, whether I will be able to break the root password or not, we will see that. Just you have to escape it here. See the second line here. What it's saying in the second line, you're getting here, press enter to boot the selected OS or P to enter the password, unlock the next set of feature. So now here that if I'm going to use the press enter to boot the selected OS, if I'm going to enter that, it's going to boot the system. But here what I have to do, I have to edit my, I have to break my root password is it. So in that case that I cannot do this because they have set the grep password. What I have to do? P to enter the password to unlock the next set of feature. If you want the next option, I have to give the grep password. So I'm just going to give the correct grep password and enter. See now here, E option is enabled. So this is how that you can secure from others if no one wanted to come to your system to break the root password. Okay. Suppose for an example, if you are going to forgot both, you have forgot the root user password and you have forgot the grep password. In that case, that what you have to do, you have to go for the rescue mode. From the rescue mode, you can just getting into the grep configuration file. And once you get into the grep configuration file, that you will be able to remove the line, the one line which I have written, no, PASSWD space hyphen MD5, that particular line you have to remove it. Then here that you will get the option for edit. So once you get the option for edit, then what you can do that you can break the root password. Okay, so this is the process that you have to follow it. Clear? So how to break the root password, grep password in the future, that if you're going to write that any Red Hat related exam, it's the first questions that you will be having for breaking the root password, no marks for that. They will give one password. You have to set it for that password. With the help of that, you have to log in. You have to know this, all the steps that how you can set it. Okay. And the last one in this. So as soon as you boot the system, that till you get the login window, there are many processes which is going to happen in the system. There are many processes which is going to happen in the system. What all the process is going to happen? That the first one, there are 6 high stages of the process is going to happen. So what is the first one? First one, it's a BIOS. What is BIOS? What is the full form of BIOS? Basic input output system. With the help of that, you can do the integrity checks. All the it's going to check the system like TTY terminals, TTY1, TTY2, TTY3, that all, and motherboard, processor, RAM, that all the stuff it's going to check. And after that, it will come to the MBR. What is MBR? MBR, it's a master board record. The total size of it's a 512 bytes. In the MBR, we have 3 sectors. We have 446 and 64 and 2. Okay, 446, it is a partition, bootloader information, partition information. 2, it's a OS signature. So that again, that we have the concept on that in the partition unit, that we are going to discuss more on that. And the next one, grub. Just now we have discussed about the grub. What is grub and how to get into the grub configuration file, how to modify it, how to set the grub password, and how to select that which operating system you have to boot first, Windows or Linux. That all the functions can be done in the grub. It is a bootloader. Okay, so the next one we have the kernel. What is kernel? Kernel is the core of the operating system. The 90% of job done by this kernel. Also, we call it as a heart of the operating system. Heart of the operating system. So once it is done, it will come to the run init. So init tab file I have showed you. Know if you have 5 or 5 or 3s, whatever the number you have, set it in the init tab file. So then accordingly your system is going to boot. Make sure that what run level you have given, accordingly system will boot. Okay, at last that, so you are going to get the login window. If you have set, you will get the window like this. If you have set that the 5 is the number, 5 is for the GUI, and in case that if you have given that the 3, what happens? That you will get that the black window, you will get it. This all it's depend on that your requirement, that you will get it, how you have set it in the init tab file. Okay, so this is all about this the boot process. In this we have seen that what is the run level we have seen, and after that check config command, how to make the services permanent with the multiple examples we have seen. Breaking the root password, it's very important, and grub password, and at last the 6 stages. One is the BIOS, kernel, BIOS, MBR, grub, kernel, init, and run level. So these are the 6 stages of the process which is going to happen. Then we are going to get the login window like this. Okay, depend on what run level you have given. Any question, guys, on this? Venel, you can stop recording, Venel.